I've built over 200 funnels. Here are the top 5 common leaks costing you $30K per month or more. Now, the first thing is having more context on your funnel. Most people, they just have a VSL, a headline, maybe a subtitle, a call to action, and that's probably it. For those people who don't watch the VSL, what are they going to get away from the funnel? Nothing. They don't understand what the fuck is going on. And the reason for that is because they're a type 1 kind of person. I'm just going to use 2 types of people in this video. The type 1 person doesn't watch the video. They just want to scroll, see all the main pain points, see all the main points you're trying to hammer into them, and then go away. They're not going to want to sit through especially a 10, 20 minute or even a 30-minute VSL. Never mind simply a 5-minute VSL. They think it's going to just be a waste of their time. So this type of person is going to just want to read through the funnel, see the main points, and if it interests them and they think you can help them, maybe they'll book a call, and that call is probably going to turn into 2 calls. Now, if you only cater to the second type of person, which is the person that strictly follows the funnel you set up for them, meaning they watch the VSL, they hit that 1 call to action, they book a call and hopefully close in that 1 call, you're going to miss out on a lot more sales because you're only catering to the second kind of person. If you're missing out on the first kind of person, which actually is a lot of people nowadays, because the simple funnel of just having the VSL, the subtitle, the headline, and the call to action is a little bit outdated, quite frankly. Okay, you have to cater to both kinds of people in the funnel. You have to have more context in what you're doing about who you are, what you offer, what pain points you have, the market problem you're solving, who is your competitors, right? Like, why would people want to work with you versus other people? Things like that. Things that you would mention in the VSL naturally, but you're also going to mention on the funnel itself. A Meet the Mentors section maybe, right? You get the point, just add more context to the funnel. The second thing is building more trust, and this can be addressed in a lot more different ways than just one thing. This can be done through having a thank you page with enough credibility on it. This can be done through having more social proof, which I'll address in just a second. This can be done through finding questions raised up in the sales process and answering them through email sequences, pre and post call book stuff, or even through FAQs in the funnel itself. FAQs on the landing page and FAQs on the call book page as well. Different kind of things that build more trust through who you are. And also something that Jeremy Haynes taught me through one of his programs that I learned in the past. Maybe it was a YouTube video. I don't really remember. It was a while ago. But basically, a lot of people tend to think their program is perfect and think they have a perfect score of customer satisfaction throughout their info offer, essentially, right? But if you actually go on Reddit, especially if you're big enough, if you go on Reddit, if you go on Instagram, if you go on all these different platforms, if you go on Trustpilot maybe, or if you go on YouTube, but to certain types of your videos back then, or to people just talking about you, if you go on X, right? There's going to be a lot of different places where your program is talked about if it's more established. And here, you're probably going to find some negative reviews. You might have a 4.9 star rating, but you might have had one problem in the past where someone wanted a refund or a chargeback or had an issue with the sales process, or maybe you had a shitty closer who was trying to be too salesy. All of these things come up, so you have to find the problems that your prospect might be facing that diminish the perfect score that you have for your audience, whether it be through Trustpilot, Reddit, X, all these other platforms, and publicly address the reason for why it's not a perfect rating for your program or the info product you're selling, essentially. And address that on the call booked page, in the emails, whatever you can address that through with ultimate transparency is going to build a lot more trust with people, because no one expects you to have a perfect score. And if you can prove that you have a near perfect score by addressing the problems in the sales process, the problems that people have faced transparently, that's going to build a lot more trust with people inherently. Number 3, as I said previously, is adding more social proof. Now, most people think it's fine to just add 1 or 2 student interviews or a couple different testimonials on the website. But actually what this usually does is promote the opposite effect of what you're trying to offer, essentially, which is building more social proof and more credibility for you, for your offer, and from you as a person running a business, selling an info product. If you only have a limited amount of testimonials, case studies, results, it's going to inherently diminish the results of your brand, because people are like, well, if he only has this many, right, what is he hiding? Okay, so you want to have an abundant amount of them. And I'm not encouraging you to do this, okay, but you can pay people for testimonials, you can fake screenshots. I'm not telling you to do this because we do not do this, like we don't even use those kind of stuff in our sales process, but I am saying you can white lie a little bit in some senses. Again, take my word with a grain of salt for this. I'm not trying to push this on you. I'm saying if you know your product is legit, you're already getting quality response from your prospects and you're having no issues, you might as well just throw in a couple different things. No one's going to notice. It's just going to boost your credibility a little bit more. Again, take this with a grain of salt. You do not have to implement this, but it's just an option that you can do, just being totally transparent about that. Now, if you do have enough social proof, flood the fucking funnel with the social proof. Do not use fake stuff, okay? That is for if you're just a beginner in the very first beginning stages of things without enough social proof to begin with. If you do have enough social proof, list it everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. When you have the context in the funnel that list everything in written form that the VSL would state, so you get the person type 1 as well as person type 2, also just list screenshots of people talking about your product in a positive way. Hey, Josh helped me get from point 0 to XYZ, or this person helped me get from point 0 to XYZ in a couple of days. And then show the screenshots of maybe dashboards you have of income you've received or income you've helped generate for prospects with their names on it through your program. Or have student interviews. That is also very important, right? If you have 3 or more student interviews, list those as one of the most hierarchical top things in your funnel, because this is instant credibility. If you can hop on a Zoom call or a meeting with a person for 15, 20 minutes, one of your clients, and talk about their 100% transparent experience working with you, that is going to be worth gold. And then you can take that clip, post it on your YouTube as a full video, clip it up, post it on Instagram, clip it up, post it on X, clip it up, post it on TikTok, and also use it on your funnel. You get the whole point, right? It's an extremely valuable deliverable that you can put everywhere and which builds immense credibility, especially if it's a 100% transparent call. And the person might even have a problem that they want fixed that you didn't address with them before or they didn't address with you. And your program isn't perfect. That actually works in your favor because it tells them that that prospect isn't being paid off to do this. They're not being forced to say good things about you. They're saying their genuine experience, and that is worth more than gold. Number 3 is improving your copywriting. A lot of beginner copywriters will hop into growth operating or try to build a funnel or do all this stuff as trying to provide more stuff for their prospects so they can help the prospect make more money, which inherently makes them more money. It makes sense, right? Because copywriting alone is just dying, let's be honest. I mean, you can use AI now, you can prompt it in a certain way, and many people are just way more experienced. It's very difficult to just cold outreach or even run ads for just plain copywriting services anymore, unless you're insanely established right now. Point being, if you try to use a specific type of copywriting on a funnel that's contrary to what's inherently beneficial to it, such as painting the picture for persuasive image generating storytelling copywriting, on a sales funnel, that is not going to perform because you're going to have too much ooey gooey nonsense there. Sure, you're painting the picture, which is beneficial, but the whole point with sales copy is to get direct to the point. For example, it would be who I'm trying to help, get what result in X amount of time frame, guarantee, right? Or reverse guarantee, right? This is the kind of structure you'd want for a headline or basically the hero section, right? You get the point. There just has to be a direct call to action, a direct purpose for the copywriting and the sales side of things for copy, especially on the funnel. If you use insanely, like, I'm sure you get the point, right? I'm at a loss for words right now. If you try to do too much with your copywriting, like you're writing a fucking book, it's not going to sell. The whole point is to direct them to take one action on the funnel, and that one action is either buying your product or booking a call with you, more likely than not. And if you're just confusing them with a bunch of copy that's just spouting nonsense, trying to paint the picture like you would do in a story, it's just not going to work. It's not going to convert, and it's not going to sell. So I would highly advise against doing that. Instead, have insanely direct copy that gets straight to the point and provides them with a simple call to action of what to do next and walks them basically in front of them by the hand and tells them this is what you should do. Do this, do this, do this. Now lastly, number 5 is improving visual aesthetics. Now this is not as important as all of the other factors I've touched on in this video previously. However, it is still kind of important if you want to have a high converting and just nice looking funnel to begin with. We've all seen those old ClickFunnels, cookie cutter, copy paste, put together funnels from 2020, 2021 with just a basic headline, VSL, call to action. Those don't work anymore, okay? First of all, yes, they don't look good, which I'll touch on in just a second, a little bit more, but also they don't have the 4 other things I listed in the video previously, which is really gonna help you convert. They don't have that context, they don't have the copywriting, they don't have the trust, and they don't have more social proof. And that's a huge issue if you're trying to convert your audience. Now, for me, I have worked with some of the biggest clients to build out their funnels to look both visually pleasing and convert. That's why these people keep coming back to us. I mean, we just worked with Clavicular, who's popping off on social media right now. We worked with Baby Stickley, his competitor, 1 million followers on Instagram. The guy, 2 million on Instagram, 20 million across all platforms, right? Brandon Hendrickson, 3-time Mr. Olympia champion. Marshall Cruz, Mamba FX, right? The list goes on. We're working with Fanbasis as well to build their funnels. We just built their Pava funnel. So, right, we're working with big brands and big names to build their funnels and also do lead gen for them and growth stack operations and all of these things, right? But funnels is one of the most important and foundational products that we do have to sell working with these big brands and names. And you can see why, if these brands and these names keep coming back to us, how important it really is. If they just wanted a basic cookie cutter, copy paste, ClickFunnels templates, they could go to do that themselves for 30 minutes, but instead they offer wanting to work with us instead. And that just says something about how conversion and visual aesthetics works in tandem. If you don't have the visual aesthetics, it's not going to work together with the brand you want to pay for your clients or for yourself, and you're missing out on a lot of money and a lot of sales because of that. Again, I want to hammer this in. It's not nearly as important, but I just wanted to throw that in this video as well, because visual aesthetics are important to these big brands and these big creators. If you want to sell a basic white funnel, you can do that if you really, really want to, but I wouldn't recommend it, especially if you are an agency trying to sell a funnel, or if you are a creator trying to get more conversions onto your funnel in the first place. Now, regardless, if you do want to work with me for building you a funnel, or you want to work with us for lead gen or consulting, or any of the full growth stack operations that we do offer to our clients, as well as funnels, right? I'll link my Calendly in the description below. You can go click on that, book a call. Me or my business partner will hop on that call and walk you through the process of what this would look like for your business to implement a funnel or audit your current business model to see what we can do to actually help you scale to the next level. Anyways, these are the 5 things that I've listed. It's more context, it's more social proof, it's more trust, it's better copywriting, and it's visual aesthetics. If you have all 5 of these things working in tandem, you're going to sell a lot more. And truly, I apologize for this video because I'm currently sick right now, so my throat's just kind of swollen a little bit, so it's difficult to talk. Anyways, point being, if you like this video, if you found all this stuff helpful, please do me a favor and subscribe, hit that like button, comment with any questions below, and do book a call with me or with my business partner. If you do have any questions about working with us, or DM me on Instagram as well, that's perfectly fine. I will be happy to reply over there as well. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. It means the world to me, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers, bye-bye.